Hey folks, I got a quick example of a sliding hoop. And let me kind of explain the situation here. So you got a hoop, it's like a hula hoop or something like that. And you've released it such that it's not rolling yet. It's sliding to the right with some velocity, we'll call it V naught, okay? But as it slides, this friction is going to cause it to eventually roll. So that it'll have a final omega and it'll have a final V. Okay, so I'll call that V final. So you maybe have seen this effect if you ever watch a bowling ball very carefully. If you watch people bowling, when they release the bowling ball, it's generally sliding some. And then when the ball with friction eventually makes the ball roll. And if you ever watch that really carefully, the ball slows down when it goes from sliding to rolling. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing with the hoop here. Now, the nice thing with the hoop is that the effect is a bigger effect. Okay. So if I have a chance in class to show this to you folks, I will. The hoop slows down significantly. Okay. So here's our goal. Our goal is to figure out what's the final velocity of the hoop in terms of the initial velocity of the hoop. How much does it slow down? Now, there's two methods to do this. Today, I'm just going to show you the first method. Later on, I will show you a second method, okay? So here's the first method. We're going to use dynamics and kinematics, okay? So in order to do this, first we're going to draw an FBD of the hoop while it's sliding. So while it's sliding, okay, well, you're going to have gravity pulling down on it. That's your mg. You're going to have the normal force acting at the bottom of the hoop, pulling or pushing up. And then you're going to have friction, force of friction. This will be kinetic friction because the hoop is sliding. Okay, it's not rolling yet. Now, by the way, when the hoop starts rolling, once it's rolling, friction becomes basically zero because you don't need to speed it up or anything. Okay, so friction goes from kinetic friction to basically zero at that point. All right, so now I didn't give you any kind of coefficient of friction or anything, so we can't use that. But what I can do is say this. I can do net force equals ma, okay? Now, the only horizontal force acting on is friction, and friction's in the negative direction. So negative the force of friction, or the magnitude of friction, equals m, and then acceleration is v final minus v naught over time. So how long does it take the hoop to go from sliding to rolling? Okay. Now, there's a lot of unknowns there. Okay. So we don't know friction. We don't know time. We want VF in terms of V naught. So we have an equation that's very useful, but we have a little ways to go. So now we're going to do net torque equals I alpha. Okay. And I'm going to do net torque about the center of mass. So if I look at this point, okay, what's the only force causing the hoop to spin? Well, friction. The other two forces act through that axis, so they don't cause any torque. So friction does cause torque, and the equation for that is R cross F. So it's R times force of friction equals I, and then alpha would be omega final minus omega naught over time. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to write omega final and omega naught in terms of velocity. Now, you got to be careful when you do this, okay? Normally, omega is V over R, okay? And your final omega, because when it's rolling, those are related to each other, your final omega will be V final over R. But what about omega naught? Okay, well, when we first released this, it was skidding. It wasn't rolling yet. So it turns out that omega naught is zero. The hoop, when we first let it go, it's not spinning. So our equation becomes R times F equals I. Oh, and what is I for a hoop? Well, for a hoop, like a hula hoop, all the mass is a distance R from the center. So it's just mr squared. And then we've got omega final, which is V final over R minus 0 over R divided by T. Okay, So I'm going to do a little simplifying on this. The good news, all the radii is going to drop out again. So this radius cancels with that one right there. And then this radius cancels these two. And you get force of friction equals m v final over time. Okay. So yeah, there's your equation. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and plug it in there. I will also distribute my m's. Well, actually, I won't need to. Check it out. So we got negative mass times v final over t equals mass times quantity v final minus v naught over t. What happens to our masses? Hey, surprise, surprise, they cancel out too. And also the times cancel out. Oh, we get something very easy now. Look at this. Negative VF equals VF minus V naught. And if you move this VF over to here, you get negative 2VF equals negative V naught divided by negative 2. You get VF is half of V naught. Okay. So for a hoop, if you slide it along the floor and watch it, its final velocity when it's actually rolling will be half of its velocity when you let it go. Okay, now that's the most extreme case. A bowling ball is a lot less of a difference because a bowling ball's moment of inertia is smaller. So for a solid sphere, I is 2/5 mr squared. So you put a 2/5 there, and over here you would get a 2/5, and then this would be 2/5, and then VF would be 5/7 of the initial velocity. So it'd be a little less, but not a crazy amount less. Now, again, there is a second way to do this, which I will show you in a little bit here. But this is a good way to do it, and it just involves a lot of stuff. You do have to think very carefully about omega naught and omega final. Do you use this relationship up here for those two? Well, you don't for V naught because when we first let the hoop go, it wasn't rolling. So this equation is not true for that, okay? For final, it is rolling, so this equation is true for that. All right, so I hope that example was interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.